How's it going, folks? Welcome back to their Pokemon Go PvP video here in Hoaglandia. We are diving into some Masters League this evening for the first time. The Masters League have been up for a couple of days now, and I've been playing a bit off stream to get a feel for how my team plays up. We're going to highlight them a little bit, hopefully successfully this evening here. So in my lead spot, I've got a Melmetal here featuring Thundershock, Rock Slide, and Super Power. And then in my backline, I've got a shiny Garchomp here with pretty standard Mud Shot, Earth Power, and Outrage. And then my Mewtwo is a little bit different than what the recommendation is on PvP Poke. So I've got the Psycho Cut as the primary attack because that charges up our charge attacks the fastest, but I've got Ice Beam and Flamethrower as the charge attacks, and the reason why I've decided to go with these two is because basically every team I've been playing against in Masters League has some number of Steel and Dragon Pokemon in it. In fact, some of them even have multiple of those types, and putting Ice Beam on Mewtwo lets it cut through dragons, and putting Flamethrower lets it get through Steel Pokemon that would otherwise kind of wall it out. So like, for example, oh, I'm blanking on its name. There's a Psychic Steel Pokemon that people play quite frequently that Mewtwo's able to cut through quite cleanly thanks to Flamethrower. So let's go ahead and jump on into some battles here, and we'll see if we can talk through what we're doing and why a little bit. Playing in the Classics, I don't want to deal with XL Candy for all these. It was enough resources to get them to 40. All right, who do we got? Who do we got to start? Melmetal into Garchomp. And then this is actually Melmetal's absolute worst pairing here. It gets walled by that. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into Mewtwo here, because a lot of the time Garchomps don't shield Mewtwo's first attack because they don't expect Ice Beam. And if they don't shield the first attack, Ice Beam OTKs. Oh, and then we actually got here. So I went and used Ice Beam, but as I tapped Ice Beam, they switched into a Steel Pokemon here. So had I been a little bit slower, we would have been able to get to Flamethrower instead. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a hit from Rock Slide here. We're actually pretty far behind in this fight at this point. Like, not only did I use a charge attack that was not great because of their swap, but I ended up burning a shield on what I thought might have been an Earth Power and ended up being a Sand Tomb. So not a very efficient use of my first shield. And then they ended up shielding my Flamethrower here, which is really unfortunate. So that means my Mewtwo's going to go down to this Rock Slide here, which I think we just let happen. And then we'll put in our Garchomp to kill their Melmetal, because their Melmetal will be pretty bad against Garchomp, just like ours was. Likely has Rock Slide, Superpower, Thunderbolt, similar to our build. So we'll take a hit here. Even Superpower won't be that bad. And if it's a Rock Slide, it's not going to do much at all. Yeah, Superpower barely does anything. Honestly, it might be right here. I think I'm just going to try and primary attack through this, because they're going to use another Superpower, which is going to drop their defense more, and then we'll get fully charged up. And then we'll be down a little bit here, but we'll have 2 charges to go into their next one. Although they might get back to another Superpower before they go down. Yeah. I think I'm going to take a hit again here and just hope that we can double charge attack on the backside, because we're a little bit behind here, so I think we need to get a little bit greedy / lucky. Whoever they queue up here, we're going to go ahead and Earth Power right off the bat. Oh, and they have a Mamoswine, which is scary because we might not get back to a second here with their Ice Primary. We'll see. And they shielded, unsurprising. Yeah, and they just took us down. So we are definitely dead here, because they have Garchomp on the back that's fully alive there. So I think even if we had gotten the hit on the Mamoswine, we would have lost that because of my poor use of shields to start. I should have been more aware that that first Garchomp attack was going to be a Sand Tomb as opposed to a what's it called? And I should have been more careful to Flamethrower instead of Ice Beam their Melmetal when it popped out. So Togekiss into our Melmetal is a very good opening pairing here. I expect our opponent will likely pivot out, and they're going into Garchomp. I'm just going to go right into our own Garchomp once we get our charge attack up here. I'm going to go ahead and take this Earth hit. Earth power, yep. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and Outrage here on the off chance that they don't shield. Like I didn't shield. A lot of the time, if you don't shield, they won't shield. And they ended up going ahead and using their shield here. We'll see if I can get back to an Earth power before they do. Probably not, because our charge checks a little more. I'm going to go ahead and just let this go down, and then we'll put in Mewtwo. And we'll go ahead and charge up Ice Beam to put down their Garchomp. And if they shield the Ice Beam, that's fine. And we'll be shielding our Mewtwo at this point. So they're getting back to theirs a little bit quicker. I'm going to go ahead and shield here. So we know they have the Togekiss on the back line. God, and they switched into the Togekiss, which... Switching into the Togekiss actually isn't terrible for us here, since we were queuing up the Ice Beam anyways. And our Melmetal is ready to go here, so... Our Melmetal is actually going to be able to primary this down, which is pretty sweet. Because their Charm charges up very slowly. I assume they're going to put their Garchomp back in. And when their Garchomp gets back in here, we're going to go ahead and Superpower twice. We're ready to go on that. And then we're probably going to let the Melmetal just go down here. We'll go ahead and Superpower again. And this might get their last shield. Otherwise, the Garchomp's going to eat it. And if we get their last shield, that bodes really well for us. Didn't shield. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put this all the way down. And then we've got... It's going to come down to how good is Mewtwo into whatever on their backline is here. Okay, so Mewtwo's got Flamethrower to Metagross. That's the Steel Psychic Pokemon I was thinking of earlier. So, we'll go ahead and use Superpower again here, which lets us queue Mewtwo up. So, we're going to go ahead and work to our Flamethrower. We're going to need to Flamethrower twice. We definitely want to just burn our shields here. This is their last mon. Okay, so we'll get to Flamethrower. I assume, yep. I assume they're going to shield, and then the question is going to be, can we take a hit from their Meteor Mash? Or are we going to get back to Flamethrower first? Sick. Yeah, okay, so Meteor Mash takes a little bit to charge up, and I believe this should kill their thing from where they're at. And even if it doesn't, we've got Melmetal in the back, so we're good to go from here. Yeah, like that. Metagross just takes the Flamethrower and goes down. Sweet. So that worked out a lot better. Better shield management on my part. More accurate predictions of what they're going to do and how it's going to happen. Definitely, this league, out of the three I've played, a good bit of Great League. I played a little bit of Ultra off and on while that was available. Now that I've been diving into Masters, Masters feels like, of the leagues, the one that rewards me the most for being familiar with what other people are doing. Like, Melmetal into Mewtwo here, I would bet that our opponent's going to pull their Mewtwo out. This is another good lead pairing for us here. If they don't, I'm going to go ahead and get this Rock Slide in. If they use their charge attack, I'm just going to go ahead and eat it. If it's a Psy Strike, that's not particularly good against us. And if it's a Shadow Ball, that should not OTK us. So, I'm just going to go ahead and take this hit. This could be a Shadow Ball. It could be a Flamethrower. If they've got a lot of other people aren't playing Flamethrower on Mewtwo, but if they have it, that would be mediocre for us. Yeah, there's the Shadow Ball. Doesn't quite put us down. So we're going to go ahead and get back to the Rock Slide here. I'm going to go ahead and just take this hit, and then we'll get the Garchomp going. Just a Psy Strike. Okay, can we get back to Superpower before we die? We can. Sick. Okay, so we weren't going to get back to Rock Slide, I don't think. But Superpower here should be enough to put them down, and then they're going to have to switch, and then we'll be able to switch into them profitably. Wow, and they used a shield. That's really good for us. Okay. So, definitely going into Garchomp here. And I think I'm going to have to shield here. But that's fine. So we're going to have energy advantage going. They're going to be able to type advantage into us without using a switch. But we're going to have an energy advantage on our Garchomp with whatever they're switching into. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and hit the Outrage here. And this isn't an awful pairing for us. It is super effective into the Mewtwo, but Mewtwo does have Ice Beam as well. And we should be able to get back to... Wow, they didn't shield the Outrage. That's huge. So we could take a hit for whatever this is doing, and then we can kill this with the primary. And then the fight probably comes down to how does Mewtwo line up into whatever their backline is. Shadow Ball's a pretty solid hit, but I'm going to have a charge attack on Garchomp ready to go. Okay, sweet. So Mewtwo's not awful into this. In fact, maybe I should have saved the Outrage. So usually this Pokemon has Iron Head, which isn't a particularly strong charge attack. But I am going to go ahead and shield whatever the first charge attack they throw out here is, because their Dragon Breath on this charges very slowly. So regardless of what they're doing, we should get back to a Flamethrower before they get to 2 charge attacks here. So I'm going to go ahead and shield here, and then I believe this is not a Punk Fake. I don't believe they have 2 lined up here. Usually they charge pretty slowly on this. Yeah, and we're going to get to Flamethrower here, and we'll put them right down. Good stuff, good stuff. And their Gear, I was like, wait, they still have a Pokemon? I didn't realize they switched out their Giratina with a little bit of a sliver there. Need to pay more attention to that as it's happening. Right, on to the 4th one. Melmetal into Dragonite. This is another... Melmetal has so many good pairings on the lead, so this is another good pairing on the lead that my opponent will usually end up switching out of because we're resistant to Dragon attacks. Okay, and then they're going into Garchomp, and I'm going to go ahead and get my charge attack on Melmetal fully charged up, and then go into a Garchomp of my own. This could be a Sand Tomb. It could be an Earth Power. I'm going to take the hit either way. It was an Outrage. Wow. Definitely was not counting properly there on my part. Okay, so that could lose us the set. That could lose me the set. I'm going to go ahead and get this going. Yeah, the fact that I didn't get any charge attacks in there was a big deal. We'll see if they shield here, or if they expect the Ice Beam. If they don't expect the Ice Beam, we put them down. Okay. I'm going to take this hit. I think we survive it and get back to Ice Beam. Yeah. Okay. The problem here is... they switched into Metagross is the problem. We're going to get got like we did last time. And now I believe we're dead at this point. As you can see here, the Garchomp lead is bad for us, especially when I need to figure out what I want to do against the Garchomp leads exactly. I think I'm supposed to pivot. Maybe I'm supposed to pivot into Mewtwo after I get my first charge attack up. Or maybe I'm just supposed to pivot right away and not let Melmetal get charged up. Is probably what it is. So they switch, I switch. So our primary attack here will be not very effective. However, super power is going to be super effective. So I think we can take a hit from whatever this is about to do. Yeah, okay. So we'll do that. And we'll go ahead and we'll get double superpower in here. We'll get, and this is usually how you want to do the superpower. So superpower drops your attack and defense. So when you're planning to superpower, you frequently want to go run superpower into superpower. And then we'll go ahead and swap out here and get Garchomp going. We'll let Garchomp go ahead and take a hit here. And then we should be able to primary attack this down. I expect they'll switch out. Yep, there's Mewtwo. I bet they'll... Oh... I need to shield a Psystrike here. Psystrike started charging so quickly. Maybe I'm supposed to outrage here because I don't think I'm going to get back to another charge attack before they do. They just decided to take the hit. Yeah, because their Side Strike only takes 45 energy. I think we just go down here. And we can get Melmetal in here. Man, and we lost that attack too. Man, that's brutal. I think we got a shield. So they're up a shield here. My Mewtwo's not particularly good when we're down shields. So the hope is we can take whatever this is and then kill them with our primary attack before they get back to another one. Okay, so there's this. This might actually not be terrible for us. So this Metagross charges its primary very slowly. And they didn't shield there. So I think we get back to a flamethrower before they get to a charge attack here. Yeah, so now they have to shield. And then they'll be able to kill my Mewtwo. But I might be able to primary this down between Mewtwo and Melmetal. And then Melmetal should have a charge attack to deal with the person in their back line. We'll see if Melmetal has enough to put this down or if we lose that primary attack race. We might lose this primary attack race. It's going to be close though. Yeah, I gotta use a charge attack here. And then we're gonna lose the primary attack on the back. Maybe I should have just kept on the primary attack. It's gonna be razor thin margin here. I forget how much their guy has. Yeah, it's too much. Needed to be able to have our charge attack for the drill on the back half. Not a particularly great showing there, 2 and 3. Let's try and run. I got a couple of battles queued up. Let's try and run a couple more here, do more than a set tonight. We got double Stardust for the Masters League. Play a couple more. Two of the 3 losses in there were to the same Garchomp lead. I need to figure out exactly how I want to approach that. I feel like I foobarred both those battles where they had a Garchomp lead into my Melmetal. Swampert into my Melmetal. I haven't seen a lot of Swamperts up here. I think I'm just double charging Superpower and then hitting it. Maybe I'm supposed to pivot into Garchomp or Mewtwo here. Hydro Cannon does not hit very strongly. Alright, so let's go ahead and double Super. And then we'll pivot into Garchomp after we double Super. They're burning a shield. And then we should be able to take a Hydro Cannon here. I guess this could be an Earthquake. I'm going to go ahead and burn a shield. That's just a Hydro Cannon. Sad. Okay, and we got to Earth Power before they got back to another one. So we're at shield parity currently. If they save this, we'll be at a shield advantage. Okay, so they're saving that. I'm going to take this hit because this is likely just a Hydro Cannon. And then Mewtwo's usually pretty good into people not having shields on their back. And yeah, that cannon did not hit very hard at all. Snorlax, Alright, let's get angry. Won't like Garchomp when he's angry. Thick boy Snorlax. Huh? I'm gonna go ahead and just shield this. It could just be a body slam. Yeah, maybe we're supposed to just take that hit. Earth Power should put this down. And then we should be good to go from here. We have Mewtwo that we haven't touched yet. I'm gonna go ahead and put Melmetal back in here, because I think we can take a Hydro Cannon. Might also get back to Superpower before they do. Yeah, so. And then we have Melmetal with a little bit of a reduction plus Mewtwo into whatever their last one is. Oh, we can actually just switch out here. Oh, it's a Mewtwo mirror. If they have Shadow Ball on their Mewtwo, we probably end up in trouble here. If they don't have Shadow Ball. If this is a Shadow Ball, we're gonna get OTK'd, which sucks. Fuck. Well, that's how we lose. And for whatever reason, we lost the tiebreaker. Probably just shitty net lag. The net code on Pokemon Go is so abysmal. If we'd have gotten the flamethrower in there, maybe because we switched out. I bet because we switched out, we ended up losing that charge. And this is gonna be a Shadow Ball that kills us. Yeah. Huh. So if we'd have gotten the flamethrower off, I guess not having Psy Strike cost me there. If I'd have gotten a Psy Strike off, now I'd probably still lose, right? Because the Psy Strike only does about a third there. I don't know if I could have done something differently there. Maybe I'm supposed to put the Mewtwo into the Snorlax and save Garchomp for whatever the random is in the back, but I think Mewtwo covers me better against random than Garchomp does on average. The battle is starting, or is it? Is Pogo deciding that we're done battling for the evening? It might be. Good. Remember the net code I was talking about a second ago? That might have been the reason we lost that last one. Because my Mewtwo's a 15, 14, 15. So, like, they could have also had a 15. I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is when they're both 15s. Another Swampert lead. Okay, I think I liked how we played the Swampert lead last time. Maybe I'm supposed to switch into the Mewtwo. Okay, and they didn't use their attack right away, so they could be gearing up for an Earthquake here, which likely OTKs my Dorko. This could be an Earthquake. I think I'm just gonna take it. Just a Hydro Cannon, yep. So we'll go ahead and we'll Superpower again. And then we'll swap out. I have an attack incoming. I'm just gonna let Melmetal go down, I think. Maybe I do just Garchomp and we primary it down. I think Garchomp can primary this down. We'll take a hit from a Hydro Cannon. It might be close. They might get a second Hydro Cannon with us trying to primary it down. Need to get my best. I'm like 20 hearts away from getting my best bunny bonus on this. Yeah. Okay, well. We'll just take this hit and then we'll have almost 2 charge attacks. Sylveon is real bad for us, and I shouldn't have hit Outrage. I hit their... There's Flamethrower. We're gonna need Garchomp's gonna have to go into their Sylveon here. I guess Mewtwo might take this down. I've got 2 shields, so they're all getting used on Mewtwo. So we're basically leaning into Mewtwo here for the most part. Now, honestly, we might just primary this down using the shield so we can charge attack the Sylveon. I think that's the plan. Oh, I didn't even have to use the other shield. That's really good for us. Okay, so we have Flamethrower queued. And then we can shield their charge attack. So it's going to come down to how much does a Flamethrower and Ice Beam do here, which I'm not familiar with. Sylveon's not super common, so I'll hit it again. Probably not enough. I don't think Garchomp's charged enough to get an attack in before he goes down. Oh, this might do it. Gonna be close, gonna be close. Skin of her teeth, chat. Had a shield left and everything. Perhaps could have shielded something more aggressively early, but there's also something to be said about your shield sequencing where having a shield up dictates what attacks your opponent is able to use, so there's often value and power in not using your shield in situations. So it's not always strictly incorrect if you win or lose with the shield, because sometimes there's like that bluff value of they have to make a different play because of that. Okay, so this is a Dragon Dark. So it looks like a Dragon Breath primary. Superpower is going to be super effective. I'm expecting a Dark Pulse here, but I'm not sure how hard that's going to hit us. I think we can take a hit from a Pulse here. Yes. Okay, so now we'll go back-to-back superpowers. And then after we back-to-back superpowers, we'll pivot into Garchomp, I think. Although they are a Dragon Breath Pokemon, which is scary. They just switched into Gyarados, so none of my things are fantastic into Gyarados except for Melmetal, so it's actually kind of an awkward pairing for us. Oh, and they have Dragon Breath on their Gyarados too. That's wild. Okay. I am doing some Pokemon battles, bud. I'm not live, but I'm recording this and it's going to go on YouTube. I think I'm going to go ahead and shield this, and then there's a chance that this could be an Aqua Tail. So Crunch, they might get back to an Aqua Tail before we can primary them down, but otherwise I think we can primary them down here. Yeah, that's huge. Now I'm going into this next Pokemon with the Charge Attack. I would love to Outrage. So they're going to have to shield this Outrage, and then we'll get to Mewtwo with an Ice Beam. So I have a shield up, but they have... The question's going to be, can they Dark Pulse me twice before I Ice Beam them once? The answer to that question might be yes, depending on how charged they are. So I definitely need to shield this, but we need one more primary to get to Ice Beam. So this one's going to be a close cut. I do have a Melmetal. It's very observant of you.
I watched the show, it's the wall.
It is, yeah.
Watched the show.
Alright, and let's see who their backline is. Okay, so, wow, that's really bad for us. So, Flamethrower here, I think is neutral, right? Because it's fire, but it's also steel.
You do it every super move in the game. Like how do you use all of them?
Alright, and then I was able to switch Melmetal in for their charge attack here, which, if I'm able to get back to a Flamethrower on Mewtwo, we could win this. Oh wow, they're using Iron Head. Okay. Oh, darn. Yeah, I think we needed just a little bit more health on Melmetal. Yeah, and I think we're gonna lose this one by a sliver. So I needed either a little bit more health on Melmetal, or I needed a little bit more health on Mewtwo here. So, maybe I was supposed to... I wasn't expecting Iron Head as the charge attack. I was expecting a fire attack. Declan, I love you. I was expecting a fire attack. So maybe I should have left the Mewtwo in, and then when we pivot to Melmetal, the superpower would have put it down. I think the switching there lost me at the end. Okay, Metagross into Melmetal is a fine pairing because usually the primary attack on Metagross is not very effective against ours. So we'll do the double charge superpower here, but I don't think I'm actually going to use both of them. We'll go ahead and we'll just superpower once, and then I think I'm going to pivot into Garchomp. Yes, Declan.
I wonder if he had a water type. He had a fire type.
You're right. Water is good against fire.
And Mewtwo is all types, but he didn't get to use his water type super ability, so yes.
So we get to go ahead and get Outrage here, which I assume is going to get shielded. Wow, no shield on that is huge for us. So I am not going to use any shields against this Gyarados, and I'm going to go ahead and use Earth Power here. And I wonder if they'll shield this time. I'm using Earth Power because I'm kind of expecting them to shield since they haven't used any energy yet. Yeah, and Earth Power is less charge attack. And I'm just going to go ahead and take this hit because if we get to go Melmetal into this, that's fine. I don't need Garchomp to take down the Metagross in the back because Mewtwo has Flamethrower. And I'm using this again here, which is a not very effective charge attack, but they're low enough that it should kill them if they don't shield. Wow, and they burned their second shield here. So again, I feel like anytime I get to a point where I'm going Mewtwo into their backline and I have shields and they don't, I'm a strong favorite. And my Melmetal here should actually be able to primary attack this down.
Oh well.
So this is probably another Crunch or an Aqua Tail, and either of those we take the hit fine. So we'll take the hit, and then Melmetal's gonna be charged up and ready to go, and we have 2 shields to their 0, so we should be locked and loaded here. So let's go ahead and get the super power off, and then we'll pivot into Mewtwo to finish here, I think. Huh? Do I want a shield here? I think I do. So I'll still have a shield on the back line. Maybe instead of switching, we'll just go ahead and we'll do this. We'll finish this with super, and then we'll switch Mewtwo into whatever their back is. Because this is going to have double attack drop and double defense drop, so you want to switch it out to wipe those penalties away. So we want to go Mewtwo into whatever they have on the back line. And then this is perfect. So this is one of the reasons why we have Ice Beam on the Mewtwo. Mewtwo is going to OTK. It's going to OTK Garchomp here with Ice Beam. Nailed it.
I'll have a cheap big sip.
Because I know which Pokemon they have, so we're charged it up. Alright, that seems like a good amount of battles to what we went at about 50%, and more importantly, not only did we go, there's only one more. Alright, I lied. Let's do the last one and see if we can get a Pokemon and finish 3-2 here. See if we can get a 3-2 to balance out our 2-3, or we could end up pushing our luck to end under. Let's do one more fight, see if we end on a high note and catch something sweet. Defense Deoxys could be in here tonight. Melmetal into Groudon. That's a terrible pairing for us. I'm going to go ahead and pull out to Mewtwo right away.
Okay, you too.
Okay, and then they pulled in Giratina, but this isn't a terrible pairing for us because Ice Beam and... I can go ahead and Ice Beam here, which this is not an OTK on this one, but it's still a decent chunk, and they went ahead and shielded it. This could be a Shadow Ball. I think I'm going to go ahead and shield back. Just an Ominous wins. Yeah. Giratina is one of the harder Pokemon to play against in this league, I think. Because the range of attacks that people put on it are really wide. And they shielded again here, which is actually pretty good for us, because I imagine they're going to Ominous Winds, and this is going to put us down, and then we're going to get to put in Garchomp, and Garchomp's going to OTK this with Outrage once we get to that point. Yep, so we'll go ahead and we'll put in Garchomp. They will get an Ominous Winds off here before we get to Outrage, but Ominous Winds is not going to hurt Garchomp a significant amount. So we'll go ahead and we'll take this hit, and then we'll put this down, and then we'll have a shield advantage going into the last 2. Yep, barely hurts at all. And you saw I took the opportunity to get an extra charge attack there in, an extra charge in. This should put this down, I believe. Yep. And now they're out of shields. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, actually, you know, this switch is probably bad. Yeah, that switch might lose me the game. So... Hold on, bud. Fire Punch. Oh, yeah. So this pairing is really bad for us. And then... Yeah, God, am I supposed to just... Wow, they have another Fire Punch ready. I have 2 superpowers charged up, so I gotta burn my shield here, but then I don't think Garchomp. So the question's gonna be is, I don't know exactly what the timing restriction is on switching. Does 4 charge attacks let me switch into Garchomp here? I don't think it does. But if I get caught in here, this is going down to another Fire Punch for sure. Yeah, and then the problem here is... Okay, I think this one will let me switch out. This is a 5th attack here.
If using Melmetal, your Melmetal would die. Yep.
Okay, this could be an Earthquake. Now the question is, can Outrage plus... Oh, it's just a Fire Punch. That's good for us. Can Outrage plus Melmetal potentially getting to a Rock Slide? Maybe I am supposed to... Maybe I am supposed to Earth Power there, because I could get back to a second Earth Power on the Garchomp, I think. So that... almost put him down. God, we were so close. I feel like all of my losses, except for the Garchomp leads, were really close in that set. So that's fun, and that's what I want. Like, I look back at a lot of those matches, and our record was only okay, but I feel like I learned stuff from the takeaway, and there was different sequencing things I could have done to maybe impact the outcome a little bit differently if I had played differently. Like that last one, my switch timing might have been a little suspect. Like, maybe I'm supposed to charge Garchomp up and then switch to the Melmetal. Or maybe I'm supposed to... I didn't know what their last Pokemon on the back line was, right? And sometimes you just get type crunched like that, because they put us in... The last opponent played that very well. So, like, we had the Garchomp, and they put in their Fairy type, and they knew they had Groudon on the back into our Melmetal. So, like, Garchomp loses to the Togekiss, but then Melmetal also loses to the Garchomp. So we're kind of damned if we do, damned if we don't, because the opponent held their switch to an appropriate time. At any rate, I hope you had as much fun watching this as I did playing it. Be sure to like the video. If you enjoyed this, I'm hoping to put out, 1 or 2 Pokemon videos like this week. Like I said, I'm doing my battles offline anyways. Figured I might as well record some of them. Let me know if you have any suggestions for my sequencing in those games. Particularly, let me know what you think I should do with this team when my opponent leads Garchomp. Should I immediately pivot into my own Garchomp? Should I charge up my Melmetal once and then pivot? Should I be moving into Mewtwo and trying to Ice Beam? Let me know in the comments what you think and why you think that's the correct play. Maybe we can get that pairing figured out. Peace, folks.